leadership which is really care for the people. It's not for self-enrichment or easy life or no. It is hard work. It's tough. We are not in power, but our job really is try to offer a reasonable path forward to the people in power.
You're a billionaire, you could just take your money and be quiet and do your things in private. Why do you do what you do?
But what is the value of life? You just eat and drink.
Governance is such an important thing, but there's also making use of the current resources that we have.
But that's part of governance. How to manage your resources, manage your people in a better way.
Do you meet some of these leaders and...
I meet all kinds of people.
And you're very direct mostly, you talk to them about these issues.
What do I lose? I have nothing other than my voice. What do I lose?
Thank you so much for your time as well. My first question basically is a reflection of your take of what's happened so far at this Governance weekend.
I think it was a wonderful conference. We had great speakers. The topic was very it was important and current given what's going around us. And as usual, we had very honest and frank discussion. Problem with all conferences is it's this kind of occasions where people are nice to each other, complimentary with each other, and this was really more serious. You know, we needed to directly ask the right questions, and we try to find the right answers. So it is a topical subject, and no, I'm happy.
I was saying to someone that I get a lot of invitations to so many conferences, but I don't attend them. But whenever I can, I always come to the IGW.
You are always welcome.
Because I think one of the main reasons I come is because of these honest conversations. And I think when we talk about development in the African continent, I see honest conversations here. So my question is, what happens then after these conversations?
That of course what we all look forward to. We hope that we shed the light on some issues. We have concentrated the minds of our leaders, and we have shown, hopefully, there is a way out of this crisis, and we are not in power. But our job really is try to offer a reasonable path forward to the people in power. We are not elected rulers or leaders. We're just civil society. And our job is to offer ideas and possible path forward. We'll see. They take it.
It's interesting. A lot of people say, you're a billionaire, you could just take your money and be quiet and do your things in private. Why do you do what you do?
But what is the value of life? You just eat and drink, and you know what is this? We are human beings, and we must care for each other, and we need to leave behind us a world for our children who is better than the world our parents left for us. And I think we should try what we do. I mean, you cannot just look at yourself, your belly button, and I don't care about what is going around me. That is not right. And I hope my children grow in a much better, caring, peaceful world. Otherwise, the alternative is bad. And as a citizen, as a human being, I have responsibilities to my fellow citizens, and it's not just my family. And I'm doing what I think every human being should do.
That's interesting. You've often said Africa is not poor but poorly managed. Um, where do you think the problem is?
The problem, I think, is in the two issues we have been focusing on. One is governance, and the second is leadership. I think we need these two, two things very much. Governance is about delivery for your people. How can deliver to my people what is needed, better standard of life, better education, how deliver security and peace for our people, how I look after the vulnerable, how to be fair, how we have rule of law in the country. We build institutions, and this is a way to deliver that basket of public goods. And that requires leadership also. Leadership which is really care for the people, it's not for self-enrichment or easy life or, no, it is hard work, it's tough. And what we really need to fight for in Africa, better governance and better leadership. Everything else will come out of that. All the goods will come out of that if we improve our governance and improve our leadership.
Governance is such an important thing, but there's also making use of the current resources that we have. I will come to the point.
But that's part of governance, how to manage your resources, manage your people in a better way to get a better results.
But so far, do you think the problem there is lack of knowledge in utilizing the current resources to fund development in the African continent?
It can be many reasons, actually. One can be lack of knowledge. Can people come to office without enough experience or qualification? In many cases, also have army officers jumping to leadership with no knowledge is what is public service or what to do. And there's also human weakness. Some people come to office and they think is a easy way to enrich yourself and your children, unfortunately. And so there's some people like that. So there's many combinations. Some are personal and some, due to circumstances. Or
Do you meet some of these leaders and do you
I meet all kinds of people. Yeah.
And you're very direct. Mostly, you talk to them about these issues.
What do I lose? I have nothing other than my voice. What do I lose? I'm not seeking office. I'm not competing for any contracts or licenses, or I have nothing to do with anything. So I have only my goodwill. I wish people to have a better life. So what's the problem with that?
Has it ever landed you in trouble, in hot water?
No. I mean, what is trouble? What anybody can do to me? Because if you decide that you don't need anything from anybody, then what trouble can you get into? No, no. Some people can disagree, some people can be upset, that's their problem. But we should not be afraid to talk truth to power, whenever. We need to be able to do that.
I saw in one of your reaction how you told a Zimbabwean politician that he can only say something if they're not too hard on the opposition. Was that something that came spontaneously?
Sorry, I missed that. What I said
I think I don't know the exact word, but you in one of the meetings yesterday, while you were talking to Foreign Minister, the UK Foreign Minister Lamy,
okay.
and the Zimbabwean politician tried to say something, and was it Zimbabwe?
No, I remember. He said when Britain will improve its relationship with the government of Zimbabwe. And I said it is really when the government gets acts together. Because you have a government in Zimbabwe which is mishandling the opposition, stifling them, putting them in prison, disbanding parties. You are running not a country. I mean, you're running it like a fiefdom, like, uh, and then you complain that we don't have good relationship with you. You know, clean your act first before you ask me to have a better relationship with you.
Do you think this is a deliberate thing by African governments where they mostly focus on their personal wealth rather than not the well-being of the ordinary African?
Not there's some many African leaders who are much better. I'm just talking about the bad apples or the bad situations. I mean, some African leaders who really care about their people and deliver. Forget we have the number of laureates, people who give prizes to, because of the wonderful work they did. And some people who didn't get our prizes also, they have done some useful stuff. It doesn't mean they are perfect, but they really care. They may have made some bad decisions. Maybe they don't. That's why they don't get the prize. But doesn't mean they are bad people.
So basically, your focus then is not just about delivering of good governance, but also, I mean, one of the theme of this particular governance weekend is to basically financing Africa's development using the current natural resources and other possible means in the future. So, do you think that there is a stronger possibility that this message is gonna go across the African continent, that people are going to understand that this is something that is extremely important?
It will, and there's no other option. I mean, are you trying to live on the charity of other people or what? And let's not also exaggerate the importance of aid. This is less than 1% of, Africa GDP. It's not like the sky is falling. So let's not make a big fuss of this. But we lose more in illicit financial flows than all aids come together. If we plug this, then we're okay. We neutralize that. I'm not minimizing the value of aid. Anything helps, okay? And but I'm saying you just need to take things in perspective, and it's not the end of the world. And if we manage ourselves better, we would not need aid. We can become a donor.
There is a lot of criticism, though, about aid, saying that there's a lot more finances flowing out than is flowing in.
That's what we're saying. That's what we're saying. I mean, look at illicit financial flows. People will talk about $80 billion a year. That's much more than aid.
I was talking about directly in this case, not just the illicit financial flow, but
also
natural resources,
yeah, of course,
that is flowing out of the African continent.
Yes, and many wealthy Africans, many funds in Africa also invest their money outside, not necessarily in Africa. I would say maybe we should pay more attention to investing in Africa, but we need also create the right environment in Africa for investing. You need to have rule of law. I mean, who's going to go and invest who's going to invest in Sudan now? Would you invest in Sudan? If you have some money, would you invest in Sudan?
Obviously not, because there's civil war there.
There's no rule of law.
Yeah.
So we say rule of law is essential. So we need to have the right environment in our continent to allow for investment. That's important too.
A lot of young people don't believe in democratic good governance anymore.
Many of our leaders give democratic good governance a bad name. And what we run was not democratic. Look, democracy doesn't mean that every 4 years I have an election, then I'm democratic. Okay? Many of these elections are rigged. We have to be careful about this. And many elections have been stolen before the voting starts. Falsifying the voter register. Of course. trying to eliminate your opponents. So election in itself, it doesn't mean enough to show your democratic credentials. And so abusing power while claiming you are a Democrat uh, is really blemish and hurt the brand, democracy. Uh, so people look and say, is this democracy? I don't want democracy. But what Jesus should say, I don't, this kind of exploiting democracy to do corrupt things and bad things. So we have to be careful about that. But I agree with you. People can see like what this guy's delivered. I have no jobs. I cannot eat. So what's the value of this democracy? And we say, look, it's not the fault of democracy. It is the fault of the people who pretend they're running a democratic country.
Would you say then that a lot more young people welcome military regimes across Africa? I mean, lately the coup d'etats that we've seen, because there's no more hope in democracy.
This, look, coups don't come out of thin air. Coups happen because most cases, okay, there are some exceptions, but most cases, military coups take place because of the failure of the democratic government to deliver anything, security or people get up. You can see corruption, they can see bad government, they can see all this facade, and they get fed up with it. So the military takes over, and people live in hope. Oh, something new. And all those soldiers come and promise everything. Now, how many coups had we had in Africa? Over hundreds? Many coups. Can you tell me just one coup who delivered to their people?
Often not the case, but they
Never.
a lot of promises.
Yes. All these coups, did a single coup deliver to the African people anything? And those people who go and cheer a coup in the street, thinking that's salvation, need to think again.
Well, how can young Africans hold democratically elected leaders to justice if they are not able to deliver the services that they promise in their campaigns?
Vote them out of office. This is supposed to be democracy. What you do in democracy, if a leader fails, you just vote them out. You don't start
you
a
just said
civil.
that some of these elections are rigged as well.
Then you have a crisis in the country, of course. Then if there's a fair election, you need to vote this out. If those guys rig the election or cancel election, then it changes now completely, and you have an autocratic rule or somebody, and then you go to the street. You are absolutely justified. And that's why young people went to the street in Sudan, for example, to topple Bashir and those people. Yeah, 6 months we had a democratic revolution in Sudan. Young people calling for democracy. And yes, that's legitimate. You go out and you call for democracy. Go out in peaceful demonstration. Street is powerful. Young people are powerful. They are the majority of the African people. And they can really force government to change course. They can change governments. It's just you need to understand that military coups is not a solution. It has never been a solution to anything. Please, please learn from history. History is very important.
Data published out there,
Yeah.
basically showing the path that this is development.
Yeah,
This
exactly.
is the road to development.
Yes.
Why do you think African governments are not using that?
All our governments are given the data. Many of them sit with our people to discuss the details of the index, etc. Then it's up to them to find a way forward. Because all what's telling them is, please, the best policies is data-driven policies. look at this data, see what works, what doesn't work. And this is data for everybody else. This is historical, progress of every country for the last 25 years. From year 2000, we have all the data. What happened through this country, what happened in investment, what happened in education, what happened in health. So people can see what is happening, and people using the data then can try to, charter a path forward. And so we hope they use that to do it. As I said, we are not in government. Uh, all what we have really is our data and our views. And we hope that people listen.
Are
That's
you
all.
hopeful though that
I'm
things
hopeful.
might change?
Yes, I'm hopeful because what is going to change Africa is the young generation coming up, because they have better chance than my generation. They have better access to data and information. They know what's happening everywhere. These phones now in the hand of everybody, the social media, the whatever, and people can see through that different views, different issues. So they are well informed. They have more ambitions than our generation, and it is their future, and those are the people who can really decide the fate of the continent. So it is in their hands. It's their future.
Thank you so
Thank you
much. I wish
much.
we had enough time. I
Thank
could
you.
talk like
Thank
this,
you very
but thank you
much.
so much.